dear. Are you all ready to boogie?
Yeah!
Let's boogie!
Dear with Mrs. Dipsworth.
Dear. This is so much fun.
Mrs. Dipsworth.
Dear. Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Oh dear, for those of you who don't know, my name is Mrs. Dipsworth, and welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. Now, are you ready to have a good time? Oh dear, you'll have to speak louder. Are you ready to have a good time? Oh, wonderful. Well, as I said before, my name is Mrs. Dipsworth, and welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. Well, welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. I am Mrs. Dipsworth, and oh dear, what do you mean I've already said that? Okay, all right, well, fine. I'm sorry. Sometimes when people start to get a little bit older, they start to forget things, so I will have to ask that you be patient with me. Well, my name is Mrs. Dipsworth, and welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. Today we are going to read an amazing story that I hope you will certainly love. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Let's see. Well, I want to share with you that I know. Okay, can you keep a secret? Oh, come on. Can you? Okay, well, I want to share with you that I know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world. Yes? Everything there is to know about everything. Oh, might be a little Mrs. Dipsworth's magic, but I will tell you about that a little bit later on. First, before we get started, I want to explain to you the most exciting way to enjoy story time. Now, everyone who is anyone knows that if you're going to enjoy a story, well, you have to use your eyes because you have to look at the words on the page if you know how to read, or look at the pictures if someone else is reading to you. So, of course, you're going to use your eyes to see the words and to read and to see all the beautiful photographs and colors and all of those things. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. In order to really enjoy story time, you have got to use not only your eyes, but you've got to use your ears. Now, how do we use our ears, Mrs. Dipsworth? Well, let me tell you. You use your ears to listen. You use your ears to listen. Sometimes someone is reading a story to you, like Mrs. Dipsworth is going to do today, so you listen with your ears. Sometimes, if you're reading aloud to yourself, you listen to the story from the sound of your own voice, but you get the point. All right, now, the other thing you are going to need to use is your mouth. Oh, dear. Oh, silly Mrs. Dipsworth. Oh, dear. How can one use their mouth during story time? Do we eat the book? Oh, no, please don't. Don't eat the book. What I want you to do is use your imagination. With your mouth, you taste things. So sometimes a book speaks of tasty foods and things that if you imagine, you can use your mouth or your taste buds to really enjoy the story. Like if the story happens to be about some gooey, ooey, hot, chocolate chip cookie with caramel and gooey, oh, sorry, but you get the point. So you're using your eyes to look at the words or look at the pictures. You're using your ears to listen to the story, the imaginary sounds that are all around you. You're using your mouth to imagine the tastes of foods and things of that nature that are in your story. And last but not least, you are using your nose. You're using your nose because you're imagining the smells. Imagine if you are walking through a jungle in your story and you're imagining that, ooh, what is that smell? Oh dear, it smells like an alligator. I don't know how an alligator smells, but you get the point. All right, so you imagine the smells with your nose. So in order to really, really enjoy a good book, you have to dive into the book. You have to use your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and your nose. And we have a song about it. Now, I want you to repeat after me. Eyes, good. Ears, good. Mouth, good. Nose, good. Now, I would like for you to say that all over again. A little bit faster now. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose. Say it with me now. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose. Again. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose. Oh, give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Now, we are going to learn a song about it, and it goes like this. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Oh, I think we should try it again. It sounds familiar. Let's try that again. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Oh my goodness, wonderful. Are you ready to sing it with me? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you ready to sing it with me? Wonderful. Let's sing here, dear. Oh, dear. All right, here we go, dear. Oh, all right. Sit up nice and straight and sing. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Wonderful. Now I need you to sing really loud one more time and sing. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Oh, wonderful. Oh, give yourselves a round of applause. I do believe that you are ready for story time. All right, the story we are going to read today is called The Blabbermouths. Oh, sounds interesting, the Blabbermouths. Let's see here now. Oh dear. All right, here we go. Once upon a time, a poor farmer drove his horse and cart to the forest to cut some wood. At the edge of the forest stood a mighty oak tree, and under it, in the midst, an old woman sat huddled by an iron chest. She called out to him. The farmer was a timid man and would have driven past her, but when he heard what she had to say, he stopped. I'm under a spell, she said. Can you set me free and do yourself some good in the bargain? Well, he could hardly believe it when she added, how would you like to take this chest home with you? It's chock full of gold pieces. Oh, I'd like it very well, the astounded farmer said. But there's one condition, the old woman replied. You must not breathe a word of this to a living soul. Well, why would I? The farmer said indignantly. Do you think I am a blabbermouth? The old woman helped the farmer drag the heavy chest into his cart, and lickety-split and clippity-clop, he drove back to his village. He could hardly get through his farmyard gate when he shouted, "Wife, wife, you'll never guess what I've got here." In a lower voice he added, "I'm not going to tell a living soul, but you're my wife. So, see this chest? It's chock full of gold pieces." "Never," said the woman, clapping her hands to her cheeks in amazement. "Well, we'll never be poor again," the farmer said proudly. "Let's cook a feast. We haven't tasted meat in many a day." The woman helped her husband drag the chest into the cellar. He gave her a gold piece, and she went shopping. He gave her a gold piece. Soon after she returned, the most delicious smells drifted from her kitchen. Oh dear, I love this. I love this. Before long, their neighbor came sniffing at the door. "What good things you have cooking in your pot?" she asked. The farmer was bursting with his good news. "Oh, neighbor," he said, "can you keep a secret?" "Well, of course," the neighbor said indignantly. "Do you think I am a blabbermouth?" "Oh dear, oh dear. Certainly not," said the farmer. "That's why I can tell you. But make sure not to breathe a word of this to a living soul. What do you think I found in the woods this morning?" "What?" asked the neighbor, her eyes bulging with curiosity. "An iron chest chock full of gold pieces, that's what." "Oh, what luck," the neighbor said, and clapped her hands in wonder. "It's a good thing you must not have told anyone else. People are so jealous. But I must run." Oh dear, I don't feel good about this at all. Oh dear. She hurried away, but she didn't go home. As fast as she could, she ran to her brother's house and cried, "Would you believe it? The farmer across the road found a chest chock full of gold pieces in the wood this morning. But mind you, don't tell anyone." "Of course not," said her brother and his wife. "Do we look like blabbermouths?" And so the news got to the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and everyone who lived in the village. Before long, it reached the ears of the magistrate. Oh dear, oh dear. Everyone say, "Oh dear." Oh dear, let's hear now. He sent for the farmer, but the farmer was too shy to go and sent his wife instead. "Don't bother deny it," the magistrate thundered. "Your husband stole a chest chock full of gold pieces. Just hand the money over." "Oh, no, that's not true," the farmer's wife said. "He is poor as a church mouse and as honest as the day is long. He hasn't stolen anything." "Not so," said the magistrate. "He himself told the tale." "And a tale it was," laughed the farmer's wife. "Don't listen to him. He's crazy." "We'll soon see," said the magistrate. "You'll be here in 2 weeks when the court meets." Oh dear, oh dear. Everyone say, "Oh dear." When she got home, the farmer was in the barn, and his wife quietly went into the cellar, took a gold piece from the chest, and drove back to town. She stopped at both bakeries and bought as many donuts as they had. When she returned home, she made sure that her husband was still in the barn. She scattered donuts all around, put a few by the gate, and threw some up on the roof. Oh. Then she went to the barn and cried, "Husband, husband, come see what has happened. Good Lord, let it rain donuts." "Rain donuts?" he asked. "Are you crazy?" "Look for yourself if you don't believe me," said his wife. The farmer ran out into the yard and was overjoyed when he found donuts scattered everywhere. Oh dear. He picked every one up, and when he was done, there was a barrel full. Oh dear, oh, this is so exciting. I love donuts. They smell so good and taste so good. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. A few days later, the farmer's wife said, "Listen, husband, I'm scared to death. I just heard that the king has hired soldiers from far away. They have long-pointed iron beaks with which they stab to death anyone they find." Oh dear, oh dear. "They're supposed to pass through our village today. They must not find us. Why don't you hide under the big wash tub, and I'll hide in the attic, and once there is no one at home, they'll leave." The timid farmer was glad to help his wife roll the big, heavy wash tub into the nearby meadow. The farmer turned it over and crawled underneath it. "Keep very quiet," his wife warned. Then she got a sack of corn from the barn and scattered some on the wash tub to let the chickens out of their coop. They ran and pecking at the corn, pick, until it was all gone. They ran back into the farmyard. Soon the farmer's wife knocked on the wash tub. Knock, knock, knock. And she said, "You can come out now. The soldiers are gone. Thank goodness we are safe." "They didn't find me either," the farmer said. "I was surely scared. When they went pick on the wash tub, I thought my last hour had come." Oh dear, oh dear. When the 2 weeks had gone by, the farmer and his wife went into court. The farmer denied everything. No, he hadn't stolen nothing. He swore that everything had happened just as he told his neighbor. "When was it, dear, that I brought the money home?" asked his wife. "Don't you remember?" cried the husband. "It was just 2 days before the good Lord let it rain donuts." The magistrate and the jurors looked at one another and shook their heads. And then the king's soldiers came with long iron beaks and went pick on the wash tub. Oh dear, this is so silly. Everybody shook their heads again. "He's mad," one whispered to another, and the farmer's wife and the magistrate said, "You're right. He does tell tales. Now, go home and don't make any more mischief." Oh dear. So the farmer and his wife went home and they lived happily ever after. The end. All right. Oh dear, I jumped ahead of you. What do we say at the end of a good book? The end. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, oh dear, there's so many things in this book. First of all, if someone tells you a secret and they tell you don't tell anyone, are you supposed to tell anyone? No. A good friend always keeps a friend's secrets. Now, there's only one time that Mrs. Dipsworth wants you to tell a secret. If someone were to say something not so nice or inappropriate to you, or if a grown-up or a person who is larger or older than you were to do something that made you feel uncomfortable, something that you knew was not quite right, and they said, don't tell anyone, keep a secret. No matter what they say, you go immediately and you tell your mummy or your daddy or your grandparent or whomever is the adult that you live with, and you tell someone who you feel safe telling. But if it is a friend and your friend wants to tell you a little secret, it is not okay to share your friend's secrets. Now, the farmer's wife came up with a good way to protect her husband and the gold. She made it appear as if perhaps the husband was a little bit kooky up top in the head. Perhaps he had made it all up. Perhaps he had made up the gold, just like he thought he made up the donuts and the king's men pecking at the barrel. But the wife saved him from himself. But the key to always being a good friend and a good person is to just keep your word. If you give your word to someone that you will not tell or you will not say, just don't tell, don't say, unless it's about your safety. Now, let's all pretend to keep a secret. What's a secret that I can tell you about? I know. I'll share it with you in just a little bit. Shh. Wasn't that a wonderful story, friends? Oh dear, I had such a good time reading to you. I really love reading to you. I love to read so much, but... Oh. There's only one thing that I love to do almost as much as I love to read. Can you tell me what that is? Oh, come on, louder now. Can you tell me what that is? Yes, I love to boogie. All right, now I'm going to get you to boogie with me. Now, I've got to stay here in this nice little chair that, yes, it's the Mrs. Dipsworth's chair for now. So you don't. You can stand up. As a matter of fact, I encourage you, stand up, stand to your feet. Now, I want to teach you a little something before we boogie. Here we go. Now, everything that we sing and every boogie move that we dance all goes back to counting. Now, can you count to 4 with me? Let's try it. 1, good. 2, good. 3, good. 4. All right. Well, that's it. Oh, stop it, stop it. No, just go to 4. All right. All right. Here we go. Yes. All right. So here is what I need you to do. I need you to count to 4 over and over and over again, because that is how we count our dances. All right, now we're gonna have your feet. Pretend like these are your feet. I know they aren't really feet, but today we're going to pretend. Oh dear, Mrs. Dipsworth is so silly. Oh dear. All right, so here are your feet. Now you are going to go to your right 4 times. All right, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job, good job. Now you're going to go back to your left 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Now, I need you to go backwards like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the last count of 4, you can do any kind of boogie that you want. Any kind of boogie that you want. If you think of yourself as a ballerina, then your boogie might be like this. Boogie, boogie. Or if you think of yourself as a big, strong football player, your boogie might be like this. Throw the ball. Woo! Throw the ball. Woo! Throw the ball. Woo! Throw the ball. Or perhaps you think of yourself as a rock star. So your boogie might be like this. Boogie, 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 boogie. Yes, it doesn't matter. Whatever your boogie is, I want to see you boogie. Are you ready to boogie? I can't hear you. Are you ready to boogie? All right, let's do it. Here we go. Oh, dear. Oh, here we go. Are you all ready? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Boogie! Oh, good! Wonderful! Now, I want you to try it again. Stand up. Make sure you're standing up. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boogie! I almost fell off of the chair. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, I want to give you one more opportunity to boogie. You've got to really be ready. Are you really ready? Okay, here we go. And 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. my dear. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I hope you love to boogie. You've got to practice, though. But in order to be a very good boogier, you have got to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And sometimes you even go to 5, 6, 7, 8. You decide, you boogie. Remember earlier I told you that I know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world? Well, I do. Some people think it's magic, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Can you keep a secret? All right. My magic is really not magic at all. I will tell you, the way I came to know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world. Now, when I was a little girl, about 4 years old, or maybe 5 years old, my mother bought me a book. Yes, she bought me a book. And I read that book from cover to cover. I read it over and over and over again. And I discovered that I loved reading. I learned so much from that book. Well, I loved reading so much that I started to read everything I could get my hands on. I would read the signs along the highway. I would read the backs of people's t-shirts. I would read the backs of green bean cans. I would even read that little bitty paper that came inside of the VCR box. And you don't know what that is, do you? A VCR. Don't worry about it. I told you Mrs. Dipsworth is old. But I would read everything I could get my hands on. And that, friends, is how I came to know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world. Reading. That is my magic. Now, shh. Now that you know, you go read. You read lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. And I want you to continue to read, continue to boogie, continue to have an amazing, amazing time enjoying your family. All right, now I will see you next time on Mrs. Dipsworth's Storytime. Bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, you're so wonderful to me. Bye-bye. Oh, bye.